Hi, this week is Invasive Species Week. The event's been cancelled, but we thought it'd be fun to bring some news and information to you about invasive species, so I hope you enjoy this little film. First thing you need to know is what is a native species, so let's find out. 11,000 years ago, most of the UK was under ice. We were joined to France by frozen tundra. By 10,000 BC, the planet was warmer, and the ice and tundra had retreated northwards. As it did so, mosses, plants and animals followed behind. As the climate continued to warm, ice retreated further north, allowing more plants and animals to move around like red squirrel, natterjack toad and beaver, and trees like birch and oak and beech. By 6000 BC, the rising sea level formed the English Channel, stopping plants and animals from reaching the UK. We now had our list of native species. For this presentation, I'm going to be using some brilliant education slides from the GB Non-Native Species Secretariat website. Non-native species are those that humans have brought into a country or a place like an island, and this can happen accidentally, like the case of the Asian hornet that got into France by hitching a ride on a consignment of ornamental pots, or deliberately like rabbits being brought over for meat and fur during the Norman period. We need to ask, are all non-native species of plants and animals bad? No, not all of them are a problem. For example, rabbits, the little owl, rainbow trout and sweet chestnut have all become naturalised and are among the mixing of plants and animals that are living in a natural balance on our island. But it's estimated that there are around 2,000 non-native species in the UK, and this number grows every year. Of these 2,000, 10 to 15%, that's roughly 200 to 300, are a problem. These problem species, the ones that cause damage, we call invasive species. They're also called invasive non-native species, or you might see it written as INNS or INS. They're a problem because they spread rapidly and damage our native plants or animals, or cause us problems. So we've got a picture here of the invasive grey squirrel, which outcompetes the red squirrel, our native species. We have an invasive Asian hornet or yellow-legged hornet that predates bees and other invertebrates. And we have the invasive American skunk cabbage, which spreads rapidly, crowding out native species. So how did these plants and animals get here? There are many ways in which this could have happened. They could be in boat ballast water or stuck on fishing equipment and clothing. They can hitch a ride on imported fruit and vegetables. They can be grown and sold in garden centres, or they may be exotic pets that have escaped or are released on purpose. So why are invasive non-native species a problem? The main reason is that they haven't evolved alongside our native plants and animals, and they escape the natural checks and balances that prevent their population from getting out of control. They might not have natural predators in the UK, and they might be better at getting to resources like water or light or space, meaning that they can grow more quickly. Invasive species cause problems for wildlife and for people. So looking at the pictures, we have at the top an American mink. Now these eat our native water birds and waterfoals, and will eradicate waterfoals from a stream or river because, unlike natural predators, they can enter the waterfoal burrow and catch them there. The middle picture shows the American signal crayfish. This damages riverbanks by burrowing, but the biggest impact is that they carry crayfish plague, which doesn't harm them but kills our native white-clawed crayfish. And there are many invasive water plants that grow with no checks and balances, choking streams and rivers and removing light and then oxygen, causing a problem for anglers and wildlife. Working together, we can do something about these problems. We need to learn more about invasive non-native species, and there's lots of information, case studies and identification guides out there, so I'll put a link at the end for anybody who wants to find out more. You could join a local wildlife group to remove invasive plants, and you can be vigilant when you're out and about. You can make the right choices when you're buying plants and pets. Make sure that they're native. And finally, if you're out on a boat or fishing or working on the water, make sure you check, clean and dry all your clothing and equipment when you have finished. Let's have a quick look at some case studies. We trained some wonderful volunteers for our lottery-funded scheme called Watercress and Winterbournes. They surveyed the rivers Testonition and found the plants listed here. We'll remove them in the future with volunteers and contractors. Let's have another quick look at the American mink. These got here by escaping accidentally from fur farms. They're really successful. They have a wide diet of birds and small mammals, and one of the first signs that you have a problem with them is there's a loss of waterfowl like coots and moorhens, and they will wipe out waterfoals on a river. All sightings must be reported to either the Secretariat or the Wildlife Trust, and they must be removed. Himalayan balsam was brought over as a beautiful garden plant from Asia. It grows rapidly and spreads quickly, and the seeds spread up and downstream as they're catapulted from seed pods. It grows faster and taller than native plants, and not much grows underneath, so soil gets washed away when it rains, which causes all sorts of other problems. Our vision is to remove them from the Testonition by working with our amazing volunteers. If you'd like to find out more or get access to resources for students or see some more case studies and fact sheets, please visit www.nonnativespecies.org. If you'd like to find out more about watercress and winterbournes and how you might be able to get involved, I'll put a link at the very end of the slideshow. So that should have given you a flavour for what native and invasive species are. You know what they are, you know the issues that they cause and what can be done about them. I hope you found it really useful and that you'd like to get involved. If you'd like to find out more, get in touch with the Wildlife Trust and we'd love to help you. Thank you, bye bye.